That's taken forever.
There's 2 people waiting. That's probably you and me.
Yeah, but it says we're live, so let's go ahead and do it. Bragsy, how are you?
I'm well, Irving. How are you?
Not so bad, not so bad. I'm just thinking, the title here. Speak moistly and carry a big deficit. Okay, now, sure, we can... yeah, there's a coronavirus. We'll get to that later. What I want to talk about is our idiot of a leader. And,
Please do.
Just... There are great leaders throughout history that have been really quotable for good reasons. Right?
Yeah.
Like, there is so many one-liners from Winston Churchill that there is not one, but many books called One-Liners from Winston Churchill or the like, right? Just literally fill a book with the shit this man has said. Our current leader has come up with such gems as, we prefer the term humankind, the budget will balance itself, and now, speak moistly. So, what I'd like to do is ask you.
Yeah, you know what? And the funny thing is, I remember back when Bush was president.
Yeah.
And somebody gave me a book because I was W. Bush, not Bush Senior, but W. Bush. I didn't like Bush Senior either. Someone got me a book saying all the stupid quotes from George W. Bush. I'm like, yeah, he had some zingers for sure. Most of them are just clumsy. They weren't outright, foolish. But yeah, Justin, between all the uhs, like you can count like 30 uhs every time he's speaking, and he doesn't have a teleprompter. Or
yeah, when he's off book. Oh yeah.
Yeah. But no, he's a national embarrassment. I would even say more of a national embarrassment than Rob Ford, because at least Rob Ford had an excuse. He was a crackhead, but Justin Trudeau, all he is a lispy, effeminate fun baby. So
So you've noticed it too. Stan Ulch here.
Oh,
Stan,
yeah.
how you doing? Yeah, no, because it's not a proper lisp. I think the term for it is a sibilant S, where every S sounds
You're
like...
right. It's not a true lisp.
Yeah, it's all his S's sound like what happened when you have to pluralize a word that ends in SK.
Yeah.
Yeah, desks, whisks, all his S's sound like that, like it's almost a whistle.
Yeah, it's not quite a lisp.
Yeah.
My mom has a lisp, and it's the cutest thing ever. But yeah, he's just yeah. So I'll be honest, I did not watch the speech in which he said, "Speak moistly."
See, neither did I.
Let me say this. You didn't? You just heard about it. See, I heard about it at work. I'm like, what are you talking about? Did you hear him say "speak moistly"? And I'm like, no, I don't watch Canadian politics because it's thoroughly depressing. But I made mention in my team chat today. I'm like, look, first off, the word moist is the most unappealing word in the English language. And this cuck had the temerity, to use a big word, to turn it into an adjective. So that just shows you how much of a twat he is.
So
I don't even like saying the word moist, and now I've said moistly like too many times today.
That's one of my favorite mid-90s alt bands.
You're cutting out on me, or you're filling this broadcast with pregnant pause.
Oh, sorry. You there? You got me now?
Are you still? Yeah, you're cutting out a little bit. There's a bit of a delay, like some buffering in the sound.
Yeah, no, the internet is terrible.
And according to Q, it's going to go down on the 10th. It won't come back up till the 16th, so we better get used to reading books and doing jigsaw puzzles for like at least 6 days.
Yeah, I was telling someone about that. But no.
I am actually really looking forward to the 10th and seeing if anything happens at all.
Yeah, that would be fucking crazy if it actually goes down. So, Craig, my question for you is, what are some of your favorite quotes from leaders throughout history?
From Monsieur.
Sorry?
Um, some of my favorite quotes. Some of my favorite quotes from leaders in history. Well, let's see.
Yeah, like, for example, speak softly and carry a big stick, right?
Big stick. Yeah. I think I like Benjamin Franklin. I know he wasn't a president, but he was definitely a leader in the founding of the United States.
Of course.
But I like his quote: "Those who would give up liberty for temporary security will have and deserve neither." I think.
Yeah.
Is it.
Or,
But yeah, that's a big one for me.
yeah,
That's a good one. It's true, and it's actually timely considering everything that's happening going right now, right?
Exactly. Yeah, it's a lot of places making these moves.
Yep. Yeah, I hear California's becoming the governor, or lieutenant governor, or somebody was asking people, if you see people outside, snitch on them, call the cops on them. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? People have to go outside. People aren't following the social distancing rules. Then call the cops on them. Like, yeah, let's get our neighbors to be busybodies.
Just spray them with the hose.
Yeah, spray them with a hose. That's right.
No, I saw some great thing on the Twitter machine. Are you still in Twitter jail? No, you're free.
No,
again,
I'm
right?
out of Twitter jail for the time being.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw something about someone was complaining. Who do I call about a business that is non-essential, and tell them they're breaking the rules? And somebody replies with, "Use the Gestapo app." She says, "Thanks."
Thinking, not realizing that it was a joke. That's funny. Stan Elch says Churchill was a lush and still made sense. Kinda. Yeah.
Kinda.
It's true.
Well, here's one.
Yeah, it's funny. The character W.C. Fields was Pat. Maybe you're too young. Do you know who W.C. Fields was?
It sounds very familiar.
He was in early motion picture, early moving pictures is back when they called it back then. He was like this caricature, kind of this drunk, red-nosed fat guy who looked surprisingly like Winston Churchill, and he would say all these ridiculous things. But because Churchill was a lush, they patterned W.C. Fields off of Winston Churchill. It's kind of funny. Like, he was a caricature. He was a mocking caricature of him.
Okay, so then my question now becomes, is this quote, one of my favorites, attributable to Churchill or to W.C. Fields? Arguing with somebody's wife, and she says something like, he calls her ugly, and she says, "You're drunk," and he says, "Yes, but in the morning I'll be sober, and you will still be ugly."
And you'll still be. I've heard that. I don't know who did that. I may be drunk. I'm gonna look it up.
I swear it's Churchill. IB Atlas, what's up? Thanks for tuning in, guys. Sorry about the state of everything.
Yeah, there's a bit of buffering tonight. Who are you with? Yeah, okay. But I shall be sober in the morning, you will still be ugly. Websites disagree about Churchill's exact words, but I think this whole story is concocted based on a scene in the W.C. Fields film that was released in the 1930s.
Okay.
So yeah, it sounds like it's a W.C. Fields. Hey, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery.
That's right.
Other quotes? Okay. Coming to our nation, I'm a big fan of Rob Ford's saying, she said that I said that I would want to eat her pussy, but I got to tell her, I get plenty of that at home. I love that one. Rob Ford is fucking hilarious. John Stewart did the mic drop when he heard that. That's so funny. See, at least he was not like Joe Biden.
Oh dear. Oh,
Yeah,
that
and he's the man now.
yeah, because Bernie dropped out. Final fuckingly.
Yeah.
And what? Wait, what? What should be the motto for every time Bernie campaigns? No refunds.
It's true. So true. I will now go back to my 3 houses and my vastly improved fortune, thanks to all of my donors. And we shall beat Trump together from my lake house. Fucking Bernie. I can't understand how people are so upset. Like, if you can't see through this guy's lies, and this guy's, he's always been self-interested. He's just been on message the entire time. He's a to overuse a word, he's a grifter. He's always been a grifter. He's been in office since who knows when, and he's never accomplished anything. All he's done is get reelected, and that's been his whole career. Just get reelected.
His proficiency is being reelected.
Yep.
And you kind of have to hand it to the guy. He was able to get reelected after photos of him in blackface surface. That's a hell of a feat. I mean, you got to kind of have to tip the hat to the guy there for that.
You're talking about Trudeau now, or are you talking about Bernie? Well, I was talking about Bernie.
Oh, you're talking about Bernie. Oh, yeah, I was talking about Trudeau.
Yeah, Trudeau's he's a grifter too. But I mean, the thing is, he's a trust fund baby. He didn't even need to be in office.
Yeah. Welcome. The next 6 minutes. How you doing, man?
Not too bad. I'm having me some fatty rice, man.
Nice.
Fatty rice?
Not batty rice.
Fatty rice.
Fat rice?
Fatty rice.
Fatty rice. What's fatty rice?
Fatty rice is, okay, you get some cuts of chicken or beef or pork or whatever. Nice big fatty cuts. You can also do this with bacon. And you render that fat, the fattiness part of the meat.
Yeah.
And you get it mostly rendered. And then you throw in about maybe a cup and a half of water, and then throw in some rice. And do the normal rice cooking time. And after that, you will have yourself some fatty rice.
That's interesting.
Nice.
So I'm not a big fan of white rice. I find it kind of plain, but it needs to be doctored up with something. So
Yeah.
That sounds like a plan. That sounds good.
This is mostly a wintertime thing for me. But given the circumstances, why the hell not? I had a big ham. Had a lot of fat on it, so why don't I make fatty rice?
Good on you.
Yeah, smells great. So, Six, I don't know if you heard about Trudeau. Was it today or yesterday? And his reference to wearing masks if you speak moistly.
This man saying the word moist would be that's a ringtone. It's like
Moist. See,
moist. Answer the phone, damn it. Moist.
I don't like that word. I like it less now.
So we're making fun of his quotability. And just curious if you have any favorite quotes from leaders in history. Like, for example, the real account here says, "You'd be in jail," by Donald Trump during the debates.
Yes. That's one of my favorites, yeah.
My favorite quote
Yeah.
from, I guess, any president would have to be from Dwight Eisenhower. And it's easy enough to farm when you're 1,000 miles away from a field and all you have is a pencil. It's one of those things where it's easier to talk than walk the walk.
Yeah. And you know what? That was something that probably sank Bloomberg's campaign when he talked about how any idiot can farm. Basically, he's basically dismissing all the people who go out there and get their hands calloused by bringing food to everybody else in the country.
Yeah. So Eisenhower, an actual president, would disagree with you, Mike.
And sorry, guys, way off topic. I don't think he's just talking shit in the chat here. Can we say a little prayer for Pox, who apparently is about to be experiencing a tornado any minute?
Oh shit!
Man. Best of luck.
Yeah, man.
Get in the fruit cellar if you've got one.
Yikes! No, yeah, he's stuck at work.
Oh, that sucks. Do they have a basement?
Oh, it's sucks to be essential this time.
Yeah.
What kind of work is Pox?
Shipping.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's a MHE operator.
Well, I won't pray for you because I'm not a religious man, but I'll think good thoughts. How's that? I think that's equivalent.
Of course, he's also saying that this is the 5th or 6th tornado that he'll have been in if there's actually a touchdown. So I'm sure he'll be fine.
Says he's
he's immune to him.
Seriously, Bucks.
He's immune to him at this point. Then, if he's gone through 5 or 6, he's immune.
He has tornado antibodies.
Yeah, you built up a tolerance to those things.
So he's running neck and neck with me with the number of hurricanes that I've been through.
You're on the coast, yeah?
Yeah.
The Gulf Coast?
Oh yeah, I grew up on the Gulf Coast, so yeah. I've been through a nasty squall or two.
I grew up on the Lake Coast, the Great Lakes. We just get shitty winters.
You guys get that lake effect snow.
Not as bad as Buffalo.
Oh yeah, those guys.
They're on the wrong side.
They get it worse than us. Yeah, it's kind of sad. Well. Any other quotables? I'm trying to think of some. Do you have one? Do you have another one?
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Ms. Lewinsky? Ms. Lewinsky? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I like that. Greetings, wonderful people and Torontonians. Thanks, Costin. How you doing?
Thanks, Costin.
Oh, gosh. Just gonna mute here for a second while I put my nice fatty rice into the refrigerator.
Do what you gotta do, homie.
I made a whole bunch of it.
Eisenhower, FDR, and Churchill were Zionists as well.
Trudy is Bush Jr. No, I would say what is it? Biden is Trudeau, is American Trudeau, or Trudeau is American Biden, or Canadian Biden. I think that Trudeau is more Dan Quayle.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Dan Quayle was just, he was dumb as a stump.
Oh yeah, what was one of those jokes back in the Dan Quayle days? Something about, like, it was how to get rich quick. Ask Dan Quayle if he has 2 10s for a 5. Repeat until rich.
So true. I just remember that scene. He went to a grade school and he corrected a little kid's spell of potato and he put an E on the end of it.
Oh dear.
And they brought that kid, of course, on the late night circuit, and they made fun of him like endlessly about it.
Potato. Oh, okay. I know not everyone's a big JFK fan, but ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country.
Sounds like communism to me. Actually, I guess it's not really. It's actually the reverse, right?
It's not a demand, right? It's just like,
asking what your country can do for you is communism.
Yeah.
Or social.
And also, I don't know if he coined it, but it was definitely an important part of the speech he was giving. We have nothing to fear but fear itself.
Yeah, that was who was that? Was that Roosevelt?
Pretty sure it's JFK right at the Cuban Missile Crisis.
I also like his. So we're going to go to the space and something do the other thing, and not because it's easy, but because it is hard.
Because it is odd. He sounds like Mayor Quinn. I did not have sexual relations with Miss Marilyn Monroe. Who said that? Delano Roosevelt. We have nothing to fear but fear itself.
Oh, really?
Yeah, during in the midst of the Great Depression.
Oh, yeah, and then didn't he screw up recovery with all sorts of programs and shit?
Dim programs.
Yeah.
So who said it was nothing is more permanent than a temporary
A temporary tax.
Temporary.
Yeah.
I want to say Friedman, but I think it was somebody else.
Jeez, it could be older. Could be all the way back to like Andrew Jackson, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right. Then a temporary.
Because that guy hated everything to do with the government getting more money.
Oh, another fine example of presidential quotability was we're going to have those N-words voting Democrat for the next 200 years.
Oh yeah.
Oh
what's
yeah.
his name?
LBJ.
New
right?
Deal guy.
Lyndon Baines Johnson.
Yeah.
I funny story. I actually fell into the outdoor fountain just outside of LBJ's presidential library. There's this gigantic rectangular reflecting pools. I was being a dumbass and I was walking around on the seating area that borders the thing, and I fell in with one leg. So I had one wet leg, and this was not a particularly warm part of the year that I did this. And I was wearing these really tacky corduroy pants that were highly absorbent, and that's my LBJ story. So I fell into the the fountain.
Oh wow.
What's really, if anybody has an opportunity to actually go to the LBJ Presidential Library, it's like a giant cereal box. It's just this giant rectangular, square rectangular building, and you walk up to the side of it. If you walk up to the side of it, facing it, and crane your head up. You look straight up and put your chin on the building. You get this weird, disorientating. It's almost like vertigo. You're looking straight up the sheer wall of that building, and it's like you get this. Oh, I think you could do that about any building, really. That one. So that was my. That was one of my introductions into like disorienting perspective.
That's what socialism does.
Well, it kind of helped. It helped my art because I was able to go back to that feeling every time and derive my inspiration from that time that I fell into the fountain. Just like mere minutes after I discovered this wonderful vertigo effect of looking up straight up a building. Two go hand in hand. It's like
I looked it up. Nothing is so permanent as a temporary government program is in fact one of the phrases that Milton Friedman used to say. But I'm sure it was coined long before that, and I think it's a variation on nothing is so permanent as a temporary solution.
Yeah.
So,
Nope in the chat here has a good one from General Mattis. When asked by a reporter what keeps him awake at night, he responded, "Nothing. I keep other people awake at night."
yeah, he's good.
So Sora Luna is asking me in Discord what fatty rice is. I'm typing that out to her.
I'll tell her to come into the stream and you've explained it. She can watch the video. We only have 13 people watching. We need another person watching.
Well, yeah. Okay. Okay. Shit. Jump into chat on Irving Twins channel, and I will explain it.
There you go. I'm trying to think of other ones. You know what? Trump has so many zingers every day. I mean, they're not memorable quotes as in these will go down in history as, something that he'll be remembered by. But just the instant owning of the press pool is hilarious. It's just watching it is so much.
And his as Tim Pool put it, his nuking from orbit of Joe Biden the other day.
Oh yes. And you know what the funny thing is? He didn't even say anything that bad, but when you put it in the context of what you know about Joe Biden, it's such a dig on him, right? And then in another speech, he said, "So, we had I spoke with Vice President Joe Biden. We had a really warm conversation." He didn't say it was insightful, or he didn't say that he got anything good. He said it was warm, so it means they didn't fucking call each other names, right? So, you know what's funny to me? I know it's only been a few hours, but Bernie has dropped out of the race, and Obama still has not endorsed Joe Biden.
Oh yeah, no, I don't.
Maybe he's gonna wait 24 hours, or
Well, the fucker should have remembered his name.
That's right. Oh, Biden, Obama.
Sora Luna is in chat right now, and she was asking the question, "What is fatty rice?" And I will explain again. Fatty rice is a dish that I mostly cook for myself during the winter time, or late fall, mid to late fall to late winter. That's the time I usually make my fatty rice. Fatty rice is whatever meat you have on hand that has a lot of fat on it. We're talking chicken, we're talking beef, we're talking pork, so on and so on and so forth, yada yada yada. Okay, you cook that on sort of a lower heat for long enough to render the most of the fat off that meat. Of course, you have bits of meat in there as well as the fat. And then you would pour a cup to a cup and a half of water in there. Let that all come sort of to a boil. And then you would put in about whatever amount of rice you desire and allow that rice to cook fully. And then you have what I refer to as fatty rice. And you would season thusly. Sometimes I've just salt and pepper for me. Other times I like to spice it up a bit with some cayenne pepper, maybe some diced jalapenos. It's all you can do that to a nice warm bowl of fatty rice, and it's mostly a wintertime thing for me. But oddly enough, I felt like, hey, I was at the supermarket. And there was this nice big ham that had a lot of fat on it. It's like, you know what? I can make some decent ham sandwiches, but I can also make a nice big pot of fatty rice. So that's what I did.
And let me ask,
fatty rice.
Does that keep in the fridge real well?
You can keep it 2 or 3 days.
So you can make like a fuck ton of it and then have it for, half the week or so.
Yeah.
Nice.
Can't use rabbit.
Rabbit, not enough.
Not enough
fat on. Too lean.
Too lean. We're talking the fattiest of fishes you can get. a nice, so fairly fatty chicken. If you happen to cross a chicken that has a lot of fat on it, you can do that. You can also augment if you want to if you get some rather lean chicken, you can augment that with duck fat. Get you a tub of duck fat and throw that in with some chicken. You can make fatty rice with that too.
Wow, rice.
Yeah, it's a nice duck fat or goose fat. It just all kind of depends on what's available to you then. I don't recommend like Crisco or any sort of like shortening sort of stuff like that. It doesn't taste quite right. You need like the like
Proper animal fat.
You need proper animal fat.
Lard.
Lard. There you go.
Good old lard. Okay. Bringing it back around to quotes.
Yeah.
May I ask, Irving, if you were ever elected to federal leadership, what would you say that people would remember for years?
Oh, Jesus. Let me circle back to that. I can't listen.
6? How about you? I got mine. I've got it queued up.
Yeah, you go ahead and I'll look for something. You go ahead.
All right, my quote would be, and this would be like, yeah, Augusto Pinochet did nothing wrong. That would be the one that people would take.
Dear. Oh, okay. So a favorite though that I had forgotten somehow. Wait, now I forgot it again. Nope, there it is. Never interrupt your enemy when they're making a mistake.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Napoleon, I think.
Yeah. Let's see.
Oddly, also from Napoleon, a leader is a dealer in hope.
Oh, what? I missed part of that.
Yeah, a leader is a dealer in hope.
They should be.
Here's a nice quote. Just because you haven't found your talent yet doesn't mean you don't have one.
Whose is
Can
that?
you guess who said that? That is Kermit the Frog.
Oh, so then it's
The world needs to.
It's Jim Henson. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
The world needs ditch diggers too.
Yeah.
That's from Caddyshack.
I'm trying to.
It was from Ted Knight said it in Caddyshack.
So, trying to figure out who actually said this first, but I've never been hired by a poor person, aka. Let's see.
Yeah, I've heard that one too.
Yeah, I don't remember who originally coined that one. It's a poor person who's never given me a job or something like that. That's another way of saying it, but.
That Hitler guy's a real jerk. Norm Macdonald.
Well, here's a quote for you. Shiner Bock is the alpha Chad of Texas beers.
The next 6 minutes.
The next 6 minutes.
There you go. You got my vote, 6.
It's a tasty beer. If you're a beer guy, this is a beer guy's beer. If you like darker beer.
I'm not a beer guy, but you still got my vote.
Okay, now here's something I found from a man named Thomas Fuller. I'm not sure who he is, but it sounds like a much older quote. He says, in fair weather, prepare for foul. And that sounds like, if I'm not mistaken, it's actually from Sun Tzu. Those who would have peace should prepare for war.
Yeah. Yep. He had a lot of good quotes.
But yeah, just for anyone who jumped in after we started up there, after the whole "speak moistly" thing from Trudeau, we've decided to make fun of his quotability with things such as the budget will balance itself, and we prefer humankind. Or no, we prefer people kind. Yeah, couldn't even come up with humankind. That fucking idiot. And now, of course.
Well, no, because humankind has man in it. You can't say human.
That's right.
You have to say people kind.
Mm.
It's misogynist to use the word man.
Oh yeah. So I have a really good quote. Mate, your Doug's a Nazi.
Count Dankula.
Count Dankula.
Did you ever watch his Absolute Mad Lad series?
I haven't yet. I've heard good things about it.
He's actually really good at like telling these. Basically does a book report on these, terrible people from history. He did a really nice one of Bob Ross, but
that was badass.
And Evel Knievel. But he does these basically character profiles of all these like horrendous people in history and stuff you'd never think could even be true. It is like, it's really, really something. He does them I think there's like once a month or whatever. But they're really good.
He did one on Billy the Kid.
Yep, he did.
And that was fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Good old Count Dankula.
Yeah. I'm surprised they gave him a blue check mark,
Yeah.
And they gave him a blue check mark like a year or 2 years ago.
Well, you guys could run for office and you'd get a blue check mark too.
Even if just for running?
I think that's one of the reasons why he has a blue check mark was he ran for political office.
Yeah, but Carl Benjamin didn't get one. He ran for office.
Oh,
he was already banned from Twitter.
Oh, was he already banned from Twitter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's been banned for a long time.
I'm sure Maxime Bernier's got one, right?
I would hope so.
I follow him. I should know.
So let's get some confirmation. Chat has Sargon been banned from Twitter? Because
I'm pretty sure he has.
I'm 98.9% sure that he has been banned from Twitter.
Yeah, I think you're right. And he may have been banned. But you know what's funny? Because I remember there was an exchange between Carl and Count Dankula about getting his blue check mark. I said, how the hell did you get a blue check before me? I guess he was more notorious at that time. And they probably really hate Carl Benjamin. Count Dankula, he's just Mark Meekin is just, he's just an edgelord. He's just a notorious edgelord. But Carl Benjamin, he makes valid points and good arguments, and they can't assail him. So.
Yeah. Count Dankula is more of a troll, and Sargon he at least tries to be more academic with his insights and his analysis and all that stuff like that. So they appeal to two very different audiences. One, you're looking for more shitposty stuff. If you're following Dankula, if you're looking for more argument and debate, then you're more looking at Sargon stuff. Though.
Yeah, they both got their share of hot takes, but you can tell that there's an impish, a sort of an impish quality to Count Dankula when he's posting.
He's just a fun guy.
Yeah, I'd love to hang out with those guys. I think that'd be fun. He got to go to I guess it's Texas where Alex Jones hangs out, right? And I guess he went to Texas to hang with Alex Jones and go on InfoWars, and they had a good time. He's another guy I think I'd like to hang out with just for the fun of it. but I don't think I could take him for much more than a few hours. I think I'd probably get really, really irritated by him after a few hours.
Yeah.
I feel the same way about Robin Williams. If he were alive, I don't think I'd want to hang with him for more than a few hours. I think I'd get irritated.
Yeah. It's when we're at Offline, I have a very funny story.
Why wait till offline? Why don't you tell it now?
It would be doxing people if I told it online.
Change the names. Just change the names.
Okay, well, I can't really because
No.
No,
there's a particular aspect about a particular thing that is associated with a particular name for a particular reason. So it gets very particular.
Did Weibo Jones show you her dick?
You can see that thing from space.
Oh. Okay, but I found another one. Also, one of my favorites, long forgotten. From Abraham Lincoln. Nearly all men can stand adversity, but if you want to test a man's character, give him power.
That's true.
Yeah. Yes, that is a. Oh, even. It is so true. It's particularly now. Gosh.
See, that's why I'd want power.
Just to test your character?
Well, no, because that's not fair to everybody to be living under my power. I want power to give it back to the people. I want power to say, okay, I'm now an authority. I'm going to slash everybody's taxes. That money's yours now. And I'm going to shrink government as much as I possibly can. And then I get shot in the back of the head.
Yeah.
Irving gets power. The very next day, the Toronto Maple Leafs fold.
Are you not a Leafs fan, Irving?
Oh, God, no.
Irving is firmly go Jets.
Yeah, I'm not a Leafs fan either. I mean, I'm not a hockey fan in particular. I don't understand Leafs fans. I don't know how you can be so masochistic as to keep going back every year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's mind-boggling.
Leafs. Irving, tell them the story about Leafs fans.
Well, my dad, I was hardcore hockey, like a lot of kids in grade school and early high school. And, we had a couple of good years. What was that, 92, 93 season? 93, 94 season? And I was always going, oh, man, it's going to be great. And my dad was trying to explain it to me, like, look, they haven't won a Stanley Cup since there was 6 teams in the league. That was the last time that they won the Cup. It was the last year there were 6 teams in the league. They're not going to win another Cup. And they're the richest team in the league. They are sold out. Their tickets are sold out for the next 20 years. They don't have to win ever again.
No.
And it was just mind blowing to me, and I was like, "What?" And it broke my heart. I was like, "Oh God, no!"
Yeah,
but every season, their fans are like, "This will be the year,"
and they're every damn where. I've been in several different venues in the state of Texas, not just for pro, but for semi-pro, and in junior league teams. And without fail, there's a lot of other sweaters that you see in the crowd. But without fail, you will always see at least one Leafs.
when the Leafs aren't even there, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You know how at an away game, you'll still see that team's jerseys in the audience, right? In the stands, right? Like if I don't know, if the Sharks are playing in New York, you're going to see some Sharks jerseys in the stands. And when any of the original 6 teams play each other, it's almost half and half in the stands. Wherever the Leafs play an away game, almost half the stands, sometimes more, is wearing Leafs jerseys.
And I would argue, Irving, it goes even further. It doesn't matter if the 2 teams that are playing are from Toronto or not. It could be
There's
the
always
LA
one.
Kings versus the Carolina Hurricanes. There's always one guy,
Yeah.
at least one guy, wearing a Leafs jersey in the stands. I would
Ooh.
almost bet money that in any given game, in any given city, on any given night, there is at least one Leafs jersey. And I am guilty of that myself because I have an old St. John's Maple Leafs jersey. That was one of it's no longer one of their minor pro affiliates, but at one time St. John's was one of Toronto's development teams.
Yeah.
And they look exactly the same. From that era, of course. So the Leafs jersey looks different now, but from that era, they would indistinguishable, except for the fact that one says St. John's and the other one says Toronto.
Okay, but hold on.
Couple of quotes from the chat.
Yes, oh man, they're bringing it. I'm loving this.
From Tippy Canoe.
Oh boy.
He who knows nothing is closer to the truth than he whose mind is filled with falsehood and errors. Thomas Jefferson.
I like that.
Yep.
There's another one. Better to remain silent, be thought a fool, than to open one's mouth
And remove all doubt.
And can remove all doubt. That's right.
Yeah. Oh, and this one, Morelli Cast brings us Voltaire's. The more often a stupidity is repeated, the more it gets the appearance of wisdom.
It's true.
Which is which of the Nazis said that? Repeat it often enough and loud enough, and people will believe it. And,
yeah, Saul Alinsky had that in his book Rules for Radicals.
Oh, I bet. And what's her name there? The Canadian Climate Barbie.
Climate Barbie?
Yeah, that's what they call her.
Who's that?
The blonde chick who's relatively attractive and all about climate change.
Oh, Notley? Rachel Notley?
No. She's in Trudeau's cabinet.
Oh, I don't know.
I can't remember her name now. But yeah, she was caught having a few drinks at the bar and saying that like if we just keep saying it, if we just keep repeating the messaging, people believe it. It's like, that's from Nazis.
It's funny though, because it seems to work in one direction, but it doesn't seem to work in the other. Because I don't know how many times I've said certain adages like, in defense of gun rights, gun ownership. When seconds count, the cops are minutes away. But that doesn't seem to resonate, or if it does, that people certainly aren't letting off. People still say, "No, you don't need a gun. The cops need guns." So,
yeah, that's interesting. That so many anti-gun people they love to repeat the mantra that only the government and the cops should have guns.
Yeah,
these are the same people that hate Donald Trump with a passion,
and they also think all cops are murderers.
Yeah.
And guess who's president of the United States? it's Donald Trump. And guess what? You want to give him all of.
Yeah, exactly.
The guns. So yeah, where's how do you reconcile that? Huh? How do you reconcile that?
It's funny because I get into these. We have like a water cooler chat. We're all working from home now. We have a water cooler chat at work, and I was talking to a couple of people on an off chat because we try and keep it all shiny, happy in the water cooler chat because the bosses are in there too. But I was having a chat with another guy, and he's like, "Well, I think the idea that we need to control guns is if guns aren't available, then there'll be less deaths." And he's from Australia, right? And
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, but the problem is that it's the wrong way of thinking about it. Guns exist. The technology exists. The ability to create them exists. The genie's out of the bottle. You can't get rid of them. So by saying, I'm going to take them away from everybody and we're not going to have as much crime, all you're doing is saying, we're going to take it away from anybody who would be willing to give them up. and the people who aren't willing to give them up are going to have them, and those
Yeah.
people are going to be criminals, and they're going to. Then everybody's at the mercy of the criminals.
Australia is a country and country/continent where the house spiders carry small dogs away. This is a place that really, really needs guns to shoot the spiders.
Yeah, it's true, and the snakes.
The spiders and the snakes, even the fucking kangaroos would carry off a small child or small bus.
And the drop bears.
The drop bears, damn. Gotta watch out for those drop bears.
It's true.
Yeah, it's a
Holy shit.
it's a meme.
Who,
It's a meme of a place. I understand why
Yes,
some people don't
it really
believe it
is.
exists.
The entire continent is trying to kill you.
19 of
Who
the 20
said-
most poisonous animals live on that fucking island.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then the other one lives in the water.
Yeah.
So I gotta say, Terry Diamantis, hats off to you, bro, for living there and maintaining your. No wonder the guy doesn't want to go outside the house.
Mm.
As soon as he steps outside, a fucking koala bear jumps up and mauls him. Oh goodness. Oh, let me ask this question, guys. I don't remember who originally said this, but a lie travels around the world 3 times before the truth is uttered or heard. What's
the truth can get his boots on,
yeah.
yeah, or lace its shoes or whatever. Yeah, it's true.
Who said that?
I don't know. A lie travels around the world before the truth can lace its shoes. Let me look it up.
Okay, while you're finding it, Nope has given us a great quote here. I'm just going to read it. We cannot let this. We've never allowed any crisis from the Civil War straight through to the pandemic of 17, all the way around 16. We have never let our democracy sake second fiddle. We can both have a democracy and correct the public health. Joe Biden.
Joe Biden.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, the quote is, a lie can travel halfway around the world while the truth is putting on its shoes. It's by Charles Spurgeon. Whoever Charles Spurgeon is.
Probably a writer.
Yeah, very wise man.
Charles Spurgeon. Who is Charles Spurgeon? He's got quite a few quotes. A time will come when instead of shepherds feeding the sheep, the church will have clowns entertaining the goats. He was a religious fellow.
Hmm. That's really creepy. Like picturing that.
Okay, who said this? I don't really look at myself as the kind of person who craves attention. But I've never been to therapy, so there's probably a lot of stuff about myself that I don't know.
I want to say
Sounds
Marilyn
like
Monroe.
sounds like a Stephen Wright quote.
So actually, it's Weird Al Yankovic.
Yeah, he's a clever fella.
And, Uncle Jeezy brings in Swiggity Swooty. I'm coming for that booty. Gandhi.
Spaghetti
man.
booty. I'm coming for that booty.
For that booty. He was a terrible person, you know. He really was. He was a bad guy. He was a lecherous old fart who used to sleep naked with like 13-year-old girls.
Oh, that I did not know.
Yeah. Yeah, Penn and Teller did a bullshit episode on Gandhi, I believe.
Really?
Yeah.
Picking up.
And I know what's his name was not a big fan. Christopher Hitchens was not a big fan of it. I know he's definitely not a big fan of Mother Teresa.
Why? What did she do?
Well, she had those what do you call them? Those hospices, right? She had all those hospitals wherever they were, and basically her whole mission was to comfort people while they died. She had all these resources at her fingertips, and she would let people die because that's what God wanted. This was her whole thing. There were people that probably could have been saved if she had funneled her resources the right way, but instead her and her nuns would just sit there and like pray over them and smile and give them comfort as they died. It wasn't the truly it wasn't the truly lost causes that she had brought to her. It was people of all sort of levels or degrees of ailment, and she
Really?
was focused more on the cult of herself than she was on her mission, which would have been to heal the sick.
Yeah.
So. And Stan Ulch says, I heard she trafficked people par for the course for the Vatican. Yeah, that's true. That's all coming out on April 10th, 2020. That was my latest video.
Yeah, when the internet and the cell phone communications all go down. Yeah.
On the 10th, that's right. You know what's gonna, if that were to happen, do you know what would happen? It would be absolute chaos.
Oh, yeah. Well, then again, maybe not.
Maybe this whole COVID thing is sort of to ease us into this life of reduced access to things. So we're all just going to be sort of calm when it happens. Just, oh, well, it's just another part of the shit show we're currently in. Let's see if we can weather it. And we won't realize that, we won't realize it's going to last as long as it is. Oh, it'll be up tomorrow. It'll be up tomorrow. And then, by around day 6, people are going to starting to lose their shit, and then things will come back. I don't know how it could happen. How can you shut down the... You can't.
Well, you're not supposed to be able to.
The whole purpose of the internet was to have a means of communication if other communication systems went down, right?
Yeah. Like, if somewhere got nuked, they'd still be able to communicate to the other side of the continent instantaneously, right?
Yeah.
So I have a more uplifting quote.
Hit me.
The great thing about McDonald's is that they have a lot of different things on the menu. I love their salads.
Who the hell said that?
Beyonce.
Oh, okay, there you go. They do, though. It's so true.
Yeah.
You don't have to get a Big Mac. You can get a McChicken.
Like, I hate McDonald's. I hate it.
What?
I've told the story of McDonald's a number of times. I go years without eating McDonald's. No.
Did you work at a McDonald's as a kid? As a teenager?
Nope. I just, yeah. But I do have a weakness, and every once in a while I break down, and it's fucking McChickens. Such a simple ass sandwich, guy. Just...
No, a chicken sandwich for me, nothing beats Mary Brown's chicken sandwich.
I don't even know what that is.
The Big Mary? Oh, you gotta try Mary Brown's
Big Mary.
It's so good.
For me, Irv, it's the McRib. But they don't always have them. You have to call ahead.
You sick bastard.
Yeah. The McRib is, think of the most processed food sandwich concoction that man could possibly ever create, and put barbecue sauce on it.
Dude, it's spare ribs. They just took the bone. Come on.
Pretty much, yeah.
No,
but it is fucking. I love it though.
It's like a Salisbury pork steak formed in the shape of ribs and
with some pickles.
Sauce.
And pickles. I love it. Okay, here's one. I've always admired Ray Kroc, the man who invented McDonald's. Ray had a vision of the most commonplace thing, a hamburger and fries to go. But to him, it was just the greatest thing ever, and he was going to make the greatest thing ever for everybody else. And he did.
Of course, if you saw the founder, you know that's bullshit.
Yeah. And who said that?
Ronald McDonald.
No, that was David Lee Roth.
There you go. I think he imagined himself to be Ray Kroc of music. Never really panned out for you though, did it, David?
Yeah. It's more of a singer, really.
Yeah. But he thought he was Van Halen.
Yeah. He was just the singer of Van Halen.
Yeah.
Really, Van Halen was Eddie and the rest of the guys.
Oh yeah.
And they proved that over and over again with different singers.
Sammy Hagar.
Yeah. And the guy from Extreme. And then finally, I think David Lee Roth did come crawling back after a period of time on his own.
Yeah, they were in discussion to do something together, and after 5 minutes in studio, they said, "This is it. We can't do it." They were in studio for literally like 5, and what's his name? Eddie Van Halen said, "No, we just couldn't do it."
Yeah.
He showed his colors as soon as we got in studio. Fuck this guy. We're done.
So here's this one. I auditioned in Chicago for Juilliard and didn't get in. I was basically living in a back room of my parents' house and not doing any life. I like to say it was patriotic to join the Marines, but it was also that I was doing nothing honorable with my life and spending too much time at McDonald's.
Bob Ross.
That was Kylo Ren actor Adam Driver.
Wow. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, and Bob Ross was a Navy man, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You guys probably know this one. Freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. We didn't pass it to our children in the bloodstream. It must be fought for, protected, and handed on for them to do the same.
Ronald fucking Reagan?
That's right.
Fuck yeah.
You know, here's an interesting one. I once dated someone who worked at McDonald's. She came up and asked if I wanted a Big Mac. That was John Stamos.
Okay. This gets bastardized quite a bit, but it is famous, very often used. Lead me, follow me, or get out of my way.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Patton.
It sounds like Patton.
George S. Patton. As a businessman, I saw Club Tracks as a new franchise, and that could be profitable for years to come. It was like being at McDonald's and realizing that even though cheeseburgers and fries sold big, you could also make money serving up McRibs, which are always available for a limited time only.
Did you just look up ultimate McDonald's quotes or something?
Yeah.
You fucker.
And who said that?
I don't know.
Club Tracks? Fuck, I have no idea.
That was R. Kelly.
Oh, shit. This is terrible.
All right, you'll know this one based on the voice. As we express our gratitude, we must never forget that the highest appreciation is not to utter words, but to live by them.
JFK.
Yeah. I'm actually pretty proud of my JFK. I think I did a pretty good job.
Your impression is quite good, quite good. You're as good or better than my my assistant manager, who does a pretty good Richard Nixon.
Yeah, I'm looking at presidential quotes. I'm looking.
And speaking of accents, I worked the drive-thru at McDonald's and tried out different accents: Italian, Russian, Irish.
Dave Coulier.
James Franco.
Oh.
So there are some people who are Burger King people, and there are some people who are McDonald's people. That was Anderson Cooper.
He's on the list. Somebody made the statement that Donald Trump has built or owns the greatest collection of golf courses ever in the history of golf. And I believe that was 100% true. Who said that?
Donald Trump?
Yes, that's right. All these quotes about Donald Trump, when you look up Donald Trump on presidential quotes, it's people talking about Donald Trump. There's only a handful of his own.
I like this one. Everybody wants instant gratification for everything. It's all got to be like fast food. You want a hamburger now, you get it now. Hey, even when McDonald's started out, it took them a couple of minutes to make your burger and get it to you. Now it's all wham bam. That's tough enough on a burger. It's impossible with a relationship.
What the fuck?
That was Frankie Avalon.
Oh my
There you
god.
go.
He who has never learned to obey cannot be a good commander.
There you go. I like that one.
It's Aristotle.
Let's find a good one here by somebody that people have actually heard of. I can eat anything. After practice, I can stop at McDonald's. I don't have a problem with gaining weight. Thank God.
Deion Sanders.
Alexander Ovechkin.
Oh.
Okay. Psychology is the only necessary running for president. Trump knows psychology.
Bo Jackson.
No, Scott Adams.
Oh.
Cartoonist for Dilbert, social and political commentator on the YouTubes.
Okay. Anyone can hold the helm when the sea is calm.
I don't know who did that one.
Yeah, some ancient Greek guy.
Oh.
Or maybe Rome. I don't know. Publilius Cyrus. We're just looking for good quotes now. Or
Yeah,
McDonald's quotes, whatever.
It's weird, but Scion is kind of cool. I couldn't drive one because I'd look like one of those McDonald's Happy Meal toys with giant heads sticking out of the window.
Wait. Shaquille O'Neal.
Brian Posehn.
I don't know who Brian Posehn is.
Yeah, he's that redheaded freak in comedy stuff.
Oh.
Yeah, he's like think of the nerdiest dude that you know, and then like multiply that by 10. That's Brian Posehn.
Okay.
Okay, and Stan Ulch has given us a good one. Mastery begins with humility. Unknown.
Odin.
I like that.
Odin was always big on humility.
Odin?
Yeah, Odin.
Really?
Yeah, oh yeah, in all the comic books, he's always trying to teach Thor humility.
Okay, we got a real winner here. I do know that no matter what, I know within myself that if I have to work at McDonald's, I will do what it takes to provide for my kids. Period.
The guy from Tim Allen.
Nope.
Oh.
This is, I'll give you a hint. This is the poster child for Karens. Whenever you think of Karen, you get this picture in your head.
Elizabeth Warren.
No, you remember that show, John and Kate with 8?
Yeah. Kate, her name was.
Kate Gosselin.
That's it.
Wow.
All right, here's one. Fucking magnets. How do they work?
Insane Clown Posse.
That's
Here's
for the song Mirror.
yeah. And I'm going to jump out here, but here's my final McDonald's quote of the night, and it's the most amazing one that I've run across thus far. I enjoyed working at McDonald's.
That's it? That's the whole quote?
Yep. Who said that?
Nobody ever.
Kevin Smith.
Shania Twain.
Wow.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Good old Canadian gal, eh?
Yeah. She's from Alberta, right?
I think
Is
so.
she?
Oh, yes,
Oh,
that's right.
Yeah, if you kill, so you go ahead.
If you kill your enemies, they win. Thank you,
That is
Delta
an
Mail.
actual quote by Justin Trudeau. What was another one he said? I believe that former terrorists deserve to keep their citizenship. Because I do, and the Liberal Party does.
And does that lead up to because a Canadian is a Canadian is a Canadian?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
And Ajax, my boy, reason is God's crowning gift to man. Sophocles.
There you go. And with that, I will make my exit and wish you guys a great stream from here on out. And you all take care and have a good evening.
You too, Six. Thanks for coming, man.
No
Talk to you
problem.
later, Six. What do you say, Irving? It's been
an hour?
Yeah, it's 11:40 now. So
Oh, that's right. She's from fucking Timmins, Ontario.
who?
Shania.
Oh, Shania Twain.
Yeah. Okay, so King Philip of Macedon wrote to the king of Sparta, "If I enter your territories, I will destroy you all, never to rise again." The Spartan king responded, "If."
Awesome. Diversity is our strength.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. A proof is a proof is a proof. Jean Chrétien. Yeah, he did say that. When you have the proof, is the proof enough? Yeah. What was another one he said? He was talking about protesters being pepper sprayed by his security. He said, "For me, the pepper, I put it on my plate." He was a troll too.
Yeah, Chrétien was fucking badass for his age and being a liberal. Balanced
Yeah.
the goddamn budget. Got trolled on during a speech by someone who managed to get past security on stage, and you know what he did? He grabbed
Choked
him
him
by the throat and throttled that motherfucker. Like, yeah,
He choked
bitch.
him out. He's like, "Fuck you!"
that's the last time. The last time the liberals were any good in this country.
Yeah.
Oh,
If you
yeah.
still have to go to work and they don't give you a mask and gloves, then you're not essential. You're expendable. Me.
Oh yeah. Before we go, we should probably touch on what do you call that? What do you call this crazy thing? The coronavirus.
Oh yeah, why not?
Yeah.
You have it in your background, like you're about to play that game.
Oh, I just wanted the creepy music going on there.
Oh, okay,
Needed to
cool.
fill the space because we weren't talking about coronavirus. But here we are. 1.5 million cases. This is actually, it's been slowed very much. I suspect by the mitigation efforts being made in most of the Western world. The thing is, when you look at these numbers down here, some of them can't be right. Like, India, with about 6,000 cases, I don't buy it.
Yeah, me neither. India being as tightly packed as it is, and just the culture that it is. I mean, it's not a terribly clean country to begin with.
And they're like, oh look, they've deployed 167,000 tests in a country of 1 billion people. I'm sure we have no idea the extent of it in India right now. I'm sure we have no idea the extent in anywhere in Africa.
No.
And a lot of the Middle East. Like,
Yeah.
At best, they're not going to be. They don't have the infrastructure to actually get concrete numbers. At worst, they'll just lie.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
So
They got to maintain appearances to their people, right? So,
yeah, but I mean, some of these increases, like 31,000 in the U.S. yesterday, 6,000 new cases in Spain, under 4,000 in Italy, over 5,000 in Germany, which I think is about on par for what they've been doing. But a lot of the case numbers in the Western world seem to be fewer new cases every day. So that doesn't mean we're out of the woods. There's could be a second spike. We'll see, right? Definitely globally when we start finding out real numbers from India.
China, which I don't think we'll ever get real numbers from China.
No, God no. Like in India, we will to the best of their ability. They want to be part of that, Western world concept, I think.
Speaking about India, so going back to my boy Trump, he came out recently and praised India for the decision to help by sending hydroxychloroquine and thermistricin or whatever to the United States.
Yeah.
And he's being very praising. It's not the proper terminology, but he's praising them quite a bit.
Okay.
If you compare that to the current sort of cold shoulder that's going on between Canada and the United States, I think you have to look at it in terms of Trump's ego. Trump and Trudeau do not like each other.
Oh, yeah.
And it comes down to the whole what do you call it, the new trade deal, and how Trudeau behaved, and how there was a lot of contradiction going on from our government with what the Trump government was saying. And then you look at what happened when Trump visited India just about a month or two ago, 2 months ago, I think, right? He was in India, and they had a big rally for him and the president of India in the largest stadium in the world, and it was filled to the rafters. And people were hollering, hugely supportive of both Trump and the current prime minister or president, whatever his role is. So I think the fact that India took the time to stroke his ego, and I think they probably do genuinely get along, versus how Trump and Trudeau's relationship has been. That's why you see, the kind of policy and the level of discussion that's going on between the two different nations. You got to stroke Trump's ego if you want to get in. I think that's what it comes down to.
See, but on the other hand, I want to hope that there's actually another reason for him to be that way with India in particular about this particular drug or combination of drugs, because right now the US, I think, gets 80% of its pharmaceuticals from China.
Yeah.
But
So
India has the infrastructure to do that,
And they
to
have the
produce all
manpower.
those pharmaceuticals. So that's like, fuck you, China. I got a new best friend.
Yeah.
Right? I'm going to be
The
fine
utility
without
people
you.
strong. They pay them pennies on the dollar as well. We can afford to buy from them.
Yeah.
But I think in the perfect world, Trump still wants that shit produced in the United States. He just knows that it's going to be a lot less cost effective to do so. So in the short term, he's like, India, help us out here. And India's more than happy to do so.
During the crisis, they'll be able to buy what they need from India while starting to produce their own. But yeah, it's like China, you're not such a big shot. Like, there are other countries.
Yep.
Watch your shit.
Yeah. Wash your penis.
Wash your penis. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking to see that we turn a corner shortly. I think by end of April there'll be things will be starting to get back to normalcy.
Yeah, like, still be careful, masks for a while. Take extra care when.
Continue to wash your hands much more regular than you normally would have.
Yeah, like, I mean, at this point, I've been letting my sisters in the house now, because I know that their workplace. One sister works from home mostly, so, and she's already like a neat freak. If there's anyone I trust to not have contracted the coronavirus, it's my sister. But yeah,
whereas my father-in-law, who is incredibly paranoid, he won't even get out of the car to say hello when he pops by to pick up groceries or whatever. You know, we got to maintain like 10 feet distance from him because he's older. He has immune. He was born with an extra lobe in his lung, and it had to be removed. So his lung's not, 100%, right?
Right.
So he's very, very concerned about it. But I mean, that being said, not to be disrespectful, but he's kind of a worrywart to begin. He always looks at things of, from Murphy's Law. If something bad can happen, it will happen.
Right.
So that's his cross to bear, so to speak. He's got to deal with that. But yeah, I'm less concerned. I mean, out of respect for him, I'll follow all of his requests in terms of social distancing, and I think people will still do that. You're not going to see people gathering in huge groups, except those ones that are going to get doused with your hose. But most people are still going to, like walking on the street, they're going to give a wide berth to other people.
Oh yeah. And again, like this was your father-in-law you were talking about.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing about Murphy's Law is that it's right so often. The opposite of panic is preparedness. Just be ready and you'll be fine, right?
Yep.
No reason to panic if you've got it handled. So,
hope for the best, expect the worst.
Yeah.
It's true.
But an hour 15, tons of quotes from both leaders and fans of McDonald's.
Yep.
And yeah, we've spoken moistly for the whole time. I think.
Very moistly.
I think. Oh, no, we just got a whole bunch of new viewers. Sorry, guys, we're closing it up. But thank you for coming. The next 6 minutes was here. He's got something coming up very shortly. If you're not subscribed to him, sub to him. Craig, what have you got in the works?
Nothing concrete at this point. I'll probably get in the car at some point this week and make another video. I'm sure I'll have to step out of the house at some point. So I'll do that. I would like to imitate you, get my OBS working and sort it out and figure out how to do it. I might do some gameplay while I chat, while I talk to thin air. But yeah, I've got lots of time on my hands to figure out what it is I'm going to do. But I would like to get back in the car. It's sort of my format, not doing it that way. It's not a bad thing. It's just, it's what I'm comfortable with. It's what I'm used to.
I have this feeling that it started before you ever started recording it, that you would be like, I don't know, listening to the radio on your way to work and just start talking to yourself and be like, I should be recording this.
Well, you know what? You're not wrong. I used to listen to the radio, and then I got sick of listening to the radio.
Yeah.
And there was all these things floating around in my head, and I just had to articulate them. And you're right. I would talk to myself in the car like an insane person and rant. And then I'm like, I'm just going to start recording these. So,
perfect.
Yeah.
Oh,
it does
but
the trick.
Do me a favor. Intermittently splice in some more of that Q stuff in your video.
I'll keep it. I'll keep abreast of it. Well, like I said, I don't subscribe to it at all. But it's one of these things that you're like, wouldn't it be amazing if it were true?
It's just too fun to ignore, right?
I know you can't, and and the mental gymnastics that the diehard Q adherents go through to justify all of the things that he said. Now, I mean, I'm sure that there are some things that he's, so-called predicted, and they did turn out to be, when you examine things, they did turn out to be, startlingly accurate. But like you said before, it's all very vague. It's all very, open to interpretation. So, every great, what do you call it, soothsayer and prophet, they all say things that are very, very open to interpretation.
I remember a Stephen Wright character. I think he was guesting on a sitcom, and he told someone, I'm a peripheral visionary. And they go, what does that mean? He says, I can see into the future, just way off to the side. And they go, oh, how accurate are you? Sometimes I'm right, sometimes I'm wrong. Well, how is that different from guessing? Don't mock me.
Q talked about time travel. Yeah, a lot of Q adherents talked about time travel.
Oh,
Yeah, there's this theory going around that Pence is actually from the future, and that Barron Trump is actually was written about in the 1800s in a children's book, a juvenile fiction book called The Amazing Adventure or something like that of Barron Trump with the time machine or something like that. And it's kind of funny because the artwork on the cover of the book bears a striking resemblance to Barron Trump.
yeah, but Barron Trump looks like every normie 12-year-old from with a bowl cut.
He's not overly distinct in his.
Yeah.
It's not like he's a huge honker or anything like that. But yeah, no, it's just it's kind of funny to look at this stuff and see what kind of conclusions people draw. But that being said, I'm more inclined to think certain things in terms of the conspiracy theory realm. I do think Justin Trudeau is very likely the son of former Cuban dictator Fidel Castro.
Yeah,
the resemblance is just too close.
I need to get a good look at their ears. I haven't found a good picture of Fidel Castro's ear.
This is where that long hair. When he was younger, he had shorter hair.
No, but just getting an angle so you can see all the shapes and stuff, because some stuff is distinctive and it can really help you. Lots of people can look similar to other people, right? Apparently there's some guy walking around Portugal who looks exactly like me. A buddy of mine ran into him once, right? He was convinced it was me, but the guy didn't speak a word of English, right?
That's funny.
Yeah. So
that's so funny.
Yeah, but
your people come from Portugal, yeah?
My dad comes from Italy.
Oh, he's from Italy. Okay, my mistake.
But yeah, all Mediterranean people look the same. So
yeah, they all all bred with one another around the same area. So Spaniards, Portuguese, Italians, Greeks
got conquered by Arabs. Yeah, it's all
Turks.
Yeah.
But yeah, in terms of what I've got on the docket, nothing concrete planned. I'll see how things go. Maybe I'll do something about Bernie dropping out. But I have a feeling that's going to be a beaten dead horse by the time I get around to making a video about it.
Oh, geez, if you do it tomorrow morning, it'll be
it'll still be
already.
Fresh. Yeah, it'll still be fresh. Yeah, that's true.
Oh.
Yeah, maybe I'll put something together for that. Maybe I'll get up early and pop out in the car, just go for a quick drive around the block. Talk about it, but no promises.
No, yeah, and I will. Hello, my fellow blacks. Hello, Zell. Sorry, Zell, we're just wrapping it up here, but thanks for coming again. Thank you, everyone, for watching. I will be streaming intermittently because, well, we're on lockdown, and apparently so are you if you're all showing up here. So we'll do our best to entertain. If you're not subscribed to Craig Bragg, your YouTube channel is exactly how it's spelled on screen here, right?
No. That is my Google and Discord name, Craig Bragg, but my YouTube channel is Craig Bragg, the proper spelling of my name. CraigBragg.
Find him, sub. His videos he's like a smarter, sober version of me. It's great. It's good stuff.
Oh, quit blowing smoke. I'm not that smart. I just use big words.
Them $5 words.
Yeah, I'm a sesquipedalian.
I already forgot what it meant.
I mean, somebody uses big words.
All right. So, we're going to call it. Thanks for coming, guys. We will see you soon. Sooner than later.
Good night, folks.
Good night. Good night.